Everybody, James Robert Elliott here, and I am with Shiva Duty, leadership coach, and we're going to talk about really important things today. We're going to talk about the magic and easy formula success, and you're going to love this formula for success because, well, it's easy, it's fun. So, a couple of things. Shiva, you and I were talking the other day, and that's why I really wanted to have you on here. And we were talking about how often people, work, and work their lives away. And I believe there's a study on average, people die, at 9 to 18 months after they retire. It's horrible. It's horrible. And oftentimes, working your life away isn't necessarily the best path to success. And sure, there are some people we see doing it. However, I think the real path to success is having a harmony in your life, not necessarily a balance, because you may need to work weekends sometimes or work like me 2 weeks straight sometimes when I'm teaching. But then the balance is right now I'm in Orlando and I'm about to go to the beach, right? And so what's the number one thing you tell people as a leadership coach, and the number one magic formula for success? What is it? Tell us about it, please.
Yeah. So I think you put it right. One thing is you're talking about people retire and then they die after like 9 months. Then they think that joy is something that needs to happen towards the end. But one thing is, tell me one thing. When is the best time you do your best? It is when you're joyful, right? So you told me, I think you brought this point wherein you had sometimes you had to work weekends. I think i I think there is this contrast. Like earlier I used to think that, okay, I need to work hard, and work would be something I had to do hard way. uh, but when I realized the magic formula that we're going to talk about, but once you are joyful, or once you're happy, once you start enjoying what you're doing, then it's completely different story altogether. You'll put all your efforts there, and there is nothing like uh, work and fun, because work also becomes fun, right?
Fair, fair, and it should be. It should be. Why the hell else are we doing it? Why are we? Why are we on this earth? Are we? Is it really to work our lives away and slave away just so we can buy more stuff and bigger cars, and bigger homes, or bigger phones, or a new phone every time a new one comes out? I don't think so. I think there's more to it than just being a slave to commercialism and working, so we can afford this stuff we probably don't need, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. So what really happened in my life is same thing. I was like, basically I was driven by this movie, The Pursuit of Happiness. Have you
Mm,
heard of the movie The Pursuit of Happiness?
good movie. Good movie. Will
Yeah.
Smith. Yeah,
So
good movie.
I was just out of college, or out of university, and I was looking for my first job, and that movie just drove me, like inspired me like anything. And I was working hard, and I got my first job, and then I worked hard. Then I got a opportunity to travel to Canada, Toronto, and I was just racing myself, working very hard, trying to get to that a six-figure salary, then buy that new car and everything. But I was really not happy. I was just running after things, and it hit me in 2016. I was at the beach. I was in Caribbean. I was going on my vacation. It was my vacation, but I was really not happy in my vacation. And I was looking back, what really I did. I did all that I could do to be here in the beach, but I'm still not enjoying the vacation. I was just wondering, what really is that? And that was the turning point in 2016. Um, and that's when one day I was sitting around, browsing around the internet, and you might have heard of Tony Robbins. Uh, Tony Robbins, and I bumped into his one of his life coaching program, and that just turned life upside down. And since then, and I've been continuously learning since then. I became a lifelong learner. To see, I just wanted to know that magic formula that took shape in 3 to 4 years, because it's not something that I discovered a formula one day. It's not like that. I worked on it. I learned from different coaches. And then finally it dawned on me one day when I realized that I was working like 7 days a week. I had my full time job, which is as a technology leader for a large bank in Canada. Then I was coaching people. Then I was competing for speech contest, and uh, I was doing all this along with working on myself, growing. but I did not. I was still enjoying life. Was still a lot of fun, and I was looking forward to everything that I was doing. It's not that when I was at work, I was 100% at work. When I was coaching people, I was 100% coaching, and when I was preparing for my speeches, I was 100% on it. So
Nice,
I was.
nice.
That is the point when I realized, yes, this is the magic formula uh, for success, and I will walk you through it as we continue our conversation.
Yeah. I like how you put if you're doing something, do it 100%, because a lot of us, and I used to be there, I used to be guilty of this, we're like, half working, half playing, or working and then on our phones, or working on social media, or distracted by something. We're often distracted and we're not 100% there, which makes, and it's interesting, the math behind it, or the formula, being even a few percent off of 100% focus on something creates a massive, massive drop in our productivity and our effectiveness. It's interesting. Even if you're distracted a little, it affects you a lot. And there's lots of studies on this. If you guys want to go check studies online, check it out. But being distracted mentally, or just by technology or dings or this thing, whatever it is, computers, social media, messaging, whatever it is, can have a huge effect on productivity. And also, once you're distracted, it can take you up to 20 minutes to get back to going full tilt and full bore at what you were doing. So distractions are an interesting thing. I think people have distractions. We all have these distractions because maybe we're not happy with what we're doing, or we're doing something we don't enjoy. Heaven forbid, right? I think there'll always be distractions in life, but it's like, how can we have that laser focus? And to your point, be 100% when you're on your own, and be when you're off, be 100% off. And I even have trouble with that sometimes. Working on vacation, I inevitably will do a bit of work somehow on vacation. I tend to slip it in. It's like, no, it's got to stop. So tell us more about the magic formula then, Shiva.
Yeah. So first thing, let me tell you the formula first. Let's tell the formula and then dive in. So the formula, the magic formula is where success is equal to em square. It's like the third law of physics, right? It's like em square. E stands for emotional fulfillment,
Huh,
and m stands for mind mastery, and the final m is mission focused.
huh.
Yes.
Very cool. Very good. And say that one more time. So you have the emotional mastery, sex or emotion. So tell us that again. Tell us that again.
So first is the emotional mastery, and the second one is the mind mastery, and the third one is having a mission focus. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, so first one regarding the emotional fulfillment. When it comes to what do you think is a human emotion? Human emotion is a byproduct of our thought. Like our mind generates thoughts, and thoughts become emotions. So
True.
it's like what I call is human emotion is something like a cooked food. Okay, it's already cooked and it's there, and you better consume it. If you don't consume it, it becomes stale and it and it stinks, right? Uh, so, so for example, let me take this. So let's say you have positive thoughts towards me. You think that Shiva is a good person, and so on and so forth. Then you'll have positive emotions towards me.
Mm.
On the other hand, you have negative thoughts towards me, then you'll have negative emotions towards me. And that's what I'm saying. The emotion part, there is a lot of talk about human emotion, and there's emotional mastery, emotional fulfillment, emotional quotient. But a human emotion is something, a byproduct of your thoughts, right? So we need to handle that one first. Okay. When I started studying the life coaching from Tony Robbins, and Tony Robbins has this has this theory where he talks about human needs and the human needs psychology. So I studied the human needs psychology from him, and that helped me understand what drives you, why you do what you do. This is like what Tony talks a lot about it, why you're doing what you're doing. Like for example, you are at the vacation, why you are at the vacation, and you are talking to me right now, why you're doing it. Like once you know why you're doing what you're doing, what is driving you, that's the driving force. Like because human emotion is considered the strongest force on the planet. People say a lot of things, people say they're intellectual, but everything boils to the fact that it's about emotion, right? It's your human emotion that's driving the whole thing.
I agree, because we react emotionally, we buy things emotionally, we always justify things. Well, I did this because, or I bought this because, and we all justify it logically. However, you're right. We're driven by emotion. We are emotional creatures and driven by emotion. Whatever it is, right? We don't think, oh, I should get mad right now, or I should buy this really expensive thing that I don't need right now, or I should react right now. We don't. It's not conscious. It's all our emotion, and it's obviously, as you know, trying to get something, trying to achieve us something. What is that thing we're trying to get? I think it pays dividends to pay attention and think, okay, why do I want this? What is my big why? Like, why the hell do I even want to do this? Why am I behaving like this, or doing this, or buying this, acting this? Why am I working my life away? Whatever it is. So it's a really interesting point you bring up.
Yeah. So that's what. So to know, like to master human emotion, you need to know what is that is driving. And if I quickly go through the human needs psychology that Tony talks about, Tony talks about the 6 human needs, wherein you have certainty. The first need is for certainty or comfort.
Yep.
The second is uncertainty or variety. The third is for love and connection. The fourth is for uh, uh, significance. So these
Yep.
4 are considered the basic needs.
True.
And then there are needs of the spirit, which are growth and contribution. So out of these 6 needs, it is very important to know what are the top 2 or top 4 of your needs, because that's what drives you. Like, for example, if you are at the beach because you want to have a lot of variety in life, but
Yep.
right, you want to get that variety in life. And if you are doing this podcast, you want to contribute back to the society, right? So knowing what really is driving you will help you find what fulfills you.
Fair.
Once you're emotionally fulfilled, then you will do whatever it takes, right? Joy is something becomes natural for you, right?
Yeah, right on. Right on. And it's interesting too, because I think those 6 human needs are interesting, and we're, you see people often, either sabotage themselves, doing really strange things, or sometimes harmful things, in a way to get that need fulfilled. Whether it's loving connection, whether it's certainty, whether it's variety, whatever it is, it's we do certain things, unethical things, whatever it is, to get those needs. So you're right, it is very, very interesting to look at. So give them to us again, just so people can be like, which ones am I driven by, and what am I not getting that I really need, and that is actually causing me perhaps to go about getting them the wrong way. Let's say it's cheating on someone, or stealing, or procrastinating, or not starting something that you want to do, or just being unhappy. It's really interesting when you look at these 6 major human needs, and look at your behavior. Okay, how am I, maybe subconsciously, maybe unconsciously, you don't even realize their body or their mind is trying to get those. Like, oh, well, that's why I'm reacting, or that's why I'm doing this, or that's why I'm not doing that, or that's why, it's fascinating. I mean, there's probably one of those why I tend to work on vacation. There's got to be maybe it's the contribution thing.
Yeah.
There's got to, but again, looking at that and paying attention, that if only I pay attention, it can be a very powerful thing. So give this please to us one more time.
Yeah, those 6 human needs are first starts the comfort or certainty. So if you want to understand it better, let me tell a story. Like, for example, let's assume me, Shiva, right? I just came out of university. The first thing I need is I need to feel certainty or comfort. How do I get that? I need to get a job. I need to get something that pays my bills. So the first is comfort or certainty. Let's assume I got my first job. I started working very hard. Now is the time I want to get some variety, wherein I want to go out with my friends. I want to go to a beach. I want to go vacation. Why? Because the second need is for variety, right? So I got my variety. I'm going around, but then the third need comes. I need to find that love and connection in life, right? I want that love in life. So that third need is for love and connection. And fourth one, once you have all these 3 needs, and the fourth one is to feel significant, right? You want to own that brand new car, or the brand new cell phone, or the house uh, in the poshest locality in the city, right? So these are the 4 basic needs, and these 4 everyone needs to meet it. And if you don't meet it, that's when you get into frustration, depression, you name it, and you have it, right? These are the 4 basic needs.
Or maybe even violence too. Violence, or reacting, or attacking, or being a jerk, or being mean. It's however we get our significance for example, or however we stand out or matter. It's really really interesting to see and to look at people's behavior. So again, everyone, look at yourself. What am I trying to get by the behaviors I don't like about myself or I don't want to do? Why am I doing this? I don't want to do it. Look at what Shiva is saying, and that the six, just Google it, six human needs, and you may find that, oh my goodness, I'm trying to get this. Could I get this in a better way, or could I structure something so I get this in a non-destructive way, or a non-spending all my money, or whatever, non-reactive way. So and then to continue, what are the next, the top two?
So once you're fulfilled, like once your basic needs are fulfilled, that's when you think of something beyond it. The next two are something for your spirit, right? So the fifth need is for growth, because
Mhm.
growth is an important aspect for you. And once you start growing, you feel fulfilling. But once you stop growing, you feel like dying, right? Growth is a very important aspect for human beings.
Yeah, no, exactly. A lot of when people stop growing, either they feel dead, or they just again find other vices or other things to fill that void or numb that pain, which is obviously not a great thing.
Yeah. And the final need is for contribution, because this is the one big thing, right?
Yeah,
Because once you got everything, that's when you start looking to give back, because giving back is kind of something that we all want to do,
yeah, yeah.
right? uh, and the other part of contribution is, once you start contributing, the beauty of it is all the other five needs are automatically met, right? For example, you're doing this podcast because you want to give back to your community. But
True.
once you focus on only contributing, you get certainty because you are used to doing it. You get a lot of variety because you meet new people. You get new connections, you have new connections. And fourth is, you feel significant because you're doing something very very important. And five is, you're growing as part of it.
Yeah, true, true. And and you hit it on the head, right? You hit the nail on the head. And this is why I do what I do. This, I get to grow, I get to help people, help the world, which is great. And as I become more affluent, I can also give back in other really cool ways. I want to go, build schools, build homes and places in India and Africa and the Caribbean where they need that, right? And maybe even teach them the principles that you and I teach people. So which would be very fulfilling to me, and giving back and helping people succeed and win. So yeah, you're exactly right. Do you think do you think that could be perhaps a big cause of either depression, because people aren't, either they stop growing, or they're stuck in the job, or they retire, or they're not able to contribute? Because again, helping others, humans, I think we have this inbuilt need to help others and contribute, grow. And that's why mentoring is no matter who you are, what you do, mentoring and guiding and helping people can be amazing. Do you think that's maybe a major cause of some of the depression or frustration of people, employed people, different people around the world, or people that retire? Maybe their growth stops and maybe their contributions stop. It doesn't have to. What do you think on that? Any thoughts?
Yeah, I think that's a very good question, because one thing is, you brought an important thing in November, because this is the year, this is the month for men's mental health. And having myself gone through a lot of depression in like around 2015, 2016, I can very much relate to it. Uh, I talk about these six human needs, and after this session, maybe I'll send a questionnaire or a link wherein you answer certain number of questions and you get a score. Like, you'll get to know what are your top two or top four needs, so that based on that you can start working on it. Uh, but one important thing here is, most of the time people uh, try to, like, for example, when I started public speaking, I had no fear of public speaking because I don't have any stage fear. So I used to go on the stage and just blast through things, because I was getting the certainty, I getting the significance, I was also making connections. But my focus is only getting that certainty and significance. It's all about the focus. Once I was focusing on those, I was just a mediocre speaker, because I was just going there for fun. Mostly public speaking is, right? Many people fear public speaking. Many
True.
people think that is next to death. So there is not many people who are standing in front of an audience and speaking. So when you are standing and speaking, automatically you get that importance. But if your focus is only getting significance, then you miss the boat, right? I never, I did not, my growth as a speaker was like this for a couple of years. But once I gone through the life coaching program and realized the importance of growth and contribution, my focus then shifted completely. Whenever I stand in front of an audience, my focus is only on contributing. How can I actually make a difference?
Hmm.
Because there is always one person in the room for whom this message is so important. And if
Right.
my focus is only about that one person, and my focus is only about contributing, and I do the best. I started growing as a speaker. I started making new connections. I started talking to new mentors and coaches, and that helped me phenomenally grow as a speaker.
Cool. Very cool. Excellent. And I agree. And you said something interesting too. It's like have a message for someone specific, and you're likely to hit a bunch of people with it anyways and reach a bunch of people with it. But yes, it's instead of blasting everyone and talking to everyone, and then you have this such a watered down, diluted message. Talk to someone specific, maybe even the old version of you, and people will really hear you. I love that you said that. And you and I were talking, and before we end today, I wanted to talk about this briefly. You and I were talking about how people, I mean, everyone in life, we often people are that thinking of well, when I have money, then I can do this. When I do this, then I can start my business. When I retire, I can be happier. When I make more money, I'll be happier. When I make more money, I'll have a great car, then I'll be happier, or whatever that trap is about being happy. And I think it's statistically in the world, the happiest person in the world, I believe it's a person in India, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. And they only have three walls to their house or something like that. They have three walls and a little roof. So when it gets windy, the rain tends to blow in. But that's the happiest person in the world, and having almost nothing other than people, friends to help, great people, great social circles. It's incredible. And to your point, I suffered from a lot of depression when I was younger too. And coming out of it now and realizing it's amazing what actually makes you happy. And really, yes, I like nice things. I like those hotels and spas and sports cars. And that's fun to me, and the cottage and things and boats. But it's sharing them with people. I get bored doing it all on my own. It's sharing them with people and having amazing people around to have fun with, to talk to share experiences, to teach, and to grow with. That is what makes me really happy. And so it is really interesting when people they say, and this is part of the reason I had you on my show. Well, and it's not just with happiness, it's with everything. Then I can do this. When my kids are older, then I can start my business, or then I can follow my heart, or do my passion project, or I can travel the world. I mean, well, why can't you travel the world now? Why can't you make it work? Right? We put all these limits in front of us, including when I blank, then I can be happy. What do you tell people? What do you share to people that say, well, when this, then I'll be happy? Because again, you teach a lot of successes through happiness, successes through joy. So what do you tell people when they come to you like that? I'm not happy, or I can't be happy, or I will be happy when. What do you say to people?
Yeah, so I think that's when we need to. It's time to step into the next one, the next, next. What is the next part of the formula wherein we are talking about the mind, right? And
Mm,
I think I told you before that mind generates thoughts and thoughts become emotions, right?
yeah,
Uh, so emotions are the byproduct of thoughts that are generated from the mind. It's like stale food, right? uh,
yeah,
so it always stinks. But once you start take that's the reason the second step is to start taking charge of your mind, right? There is a lot of talk about meditation and yoga, and this is what I stepped into in 2017 when I met I don't know whether you heard of Sadhguru.
yep.
You
Love
heard
it.
of Sadhguru?
Well,
Yeah.
very good
So
person.
yeah, as 2017 is when I met him for the first time in Toronto, and he did a program, and that completely changed my life. And since then, my work is mostly on the mind. Like I focus on the mind because mind is such a powerful instrument, powerful machine, and mind is definitely the most powerful machine on the planet, because that's what created all the other machines on the planet.
Yeah,
But the catch is, you need to know how to master your mind,
true. I agree.
right? And there is so much emphasis off late on meditation and yoga, I think. And since 2017, I've been learning a lot of new and meditation and yoga techniques, and I nowadays I kind of practice yoga and meditation for like 3 hours a day, and that has phenomenally changed the way I think, the way I work. And one I talk about the mind and the emotion, right? once you take charge of your take charge of your emotion and mind, then joy is something natural, because uh, it automatically happens. So imagine a point wherein tell me a point, like you are on vacation, right? Tell me, tell me when you are joyful. Like, tell me a moment when you're joyful.
Seeing my friends, meeting some new friends last night. That was amazing. I loved it. I loved it. It was great. We have wine. We
Yeah,
were talking. It was awesome.
yeah, yeah. So the point wherein you're not in your mind, and not you're trying to fulfill something, like not chasing on something,
Yeah,
right? So that's the point wherein joy comes naturally, right? So, and currently you are looking for some of the other things, but joy is something here, like inside you, right? And the moment you separate yourself, what's going on in your mind, the chatterbox, then joy is something natural. That's what I'm saying. Like emotion and mind, once you take charge of it, joy happens like this. And once you're joyful, you are 100%. Whatever you're doing, you just enjoy the journey itself. You don't look at the destination anymore. Everything that you're doing, you'll do it 100%.
that's a good point. It's funny. My old martial arts sensei, Master Woodburn. I really want to test. Okay, can I test for the next belt? Can I get the next belt? Next Hapkido belt. I took a mixed martial art called Hapkido, and it was interesting. He's like, I see you want to be black belt in 6 months. Do you? I'm like, yes. He's like, James, you need to, and it was true. It was a metaphor for my life, because the way we do one thing is the way we do everything. Humans are not that complex. And he's like, you need, I think in your greater life, but especially in this class, he's like, you need to enjoy the journey versus focusing on the destination. And that was the start of just a beautiful change, and me really enjoying the journey of everything in life versus like, hey, I need $100,000 business, and then I need $1 million business, and then I need this, and then that. Well, no, enjoy the journey there, because sometimes in fact, often things take longer. They can, anyways, take longer, or they happen when time decides it's going to happen, right? And I think if you focus on the destination, you'll always be unhappy and desperate. You focus on the journey, and okay, sure. For myself, getting to $1 million business is taking a little longer than I'd like. I'm well on my way there. I'm making strides, and focusing on that, and what I'm learning on the way is amazing, and that's been very joyous, and makes me very happy. Versus, I'm not happy because I don't have $1 million business yet, or don't have $10 million business, or don't have 100 million, whatever it is. It's fascinating. So really quickly, because we only have a couple minutes left, give us the final. What's the final M of the formula?
Final am is the mission focus. We're talking about the mission, right? Talking about the $1 million business. So, because one important thing I like what you said is you had a mission, like you had a goal to have $1 million business, right? So then you might have a deadline for it. Like for example, most of the cases, what people think, don't they have like short-term goal. They have big things, but they don't plan it. Like for example,
Mhm.
when I talk about something that I'm trying to do, I have my long-term goal, which is like a 10-15 year
Mm.
uh, goal. Then I break it into like 2 to 3 years. Then I what I need to do in 3 months. Like what is the immediate thing, right? For example, what is that I need to do in the next two to 3 months to be able to get to that 15-year goal, right?
Right on.
So breaking that, and then having that mission focus. Like for example, your mind is a powerful instrument, and
Sure is.
once you tune it, like once you tell it what you want, and it will find ways to get it. There is this, it's called RTS, reticular arras,
Oh, that's right.
reticular,
Reticular activating system. Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So you tell it, right? I want to, maybe I want to be a great speaker, and you start working on it. You have a 3 months goal wherein you want to do this, and you focus on that. And there are tools to get there. There are some meditation techniques that Sadhguru even is available on his Sadhguru app, which are free for everyone to access. These are called meditation for success. There is a meditation tool for meditation for success, and this particular tool, I have a couple of CEO clients. We have a meditation day when one day of the week, we wake up early in the morning and we do this meditation together, right? And during that meditation, what happens is, you frame your short term, medium term, and long term goals, and you visualize achieving those goals. And once you start doing that, the mind gets fine tune for the same thing, and automatically you'll find things. Like for example, tomorrow you'll meet that person who will take you to that next step and next step and next step,
True.
because mind is such a powerful instrument that it will find its own way. It's only that you just need to tell it where it needs to go, and it will take you there.
Very cool. I love it, and I totally agree. And even Tony Robbins himself, the great Tony, he says that emotional state mastery, mastering our emotional states, is one of the biggest determinants to success. Because, well, first of all, you'll do things that you don't want to do, because sometimes as business people and entrepreneurs or whoever leaders, we need to do things that we don't want to do. Right? Do I want to be? I was working till midnight on, what was it, Monday night? I was working to midnight but again, now I'm on vacation. So again, it's this balance, right? I do things that I don't necessarily want to do all the time, because there's the outcome, and of course what I do brings me joy anyways, and I love to do it. It's not just about the $1 million business. And I think, just to tag on to your last point, people need to be careful if they only have a financial goal, because it's not overly fulfilling. Great, you have $1 million, you can afford stuff. That's cool. It's exciting. But what motivates you on? Like, why do you want to do it? Why are you looking? I love giving back. I love seeing other people succeed. Love seeing other people win, and that's what lights me up. If I was just counting numbers all day long, and I had $1 million business, I'd be, oh my god, like, shoot me now. But if I have something that fills me with purpose and passion, I'm helping people, I'm giving back, contributing, I'm helping people win, which is what I love to do. Amazing. And if the $1 million business takes a little longer, that's cool too, right? So, any last point to sum up with for people before we go? Any last thing?
Yeah, I think again going back to the same formula wherein I talk about success following joy. I think the focus is first of all to find ways to be joyful, because joy is not something outside, because there is this fine line between happiness and joy, right? Let me quickly touch upon happiness and joy, because this is most confusing thing that many people kind of get into. Because for you to be happy, something external needs to happen,
Hmm.
but joy is something internal. Because and once you find that way to be joyful, then no matter what's happening in your life, you will give you 100%. I think that's the key. Because then when you look back, you will look at the days wherein you did not give you 100%. But when you are joyful, there is no way you cannot do less than 100, because nothing matters for you. You just put in your 100% there, whether you're vacationing or whether you're coaching or whether you're doing that new assignment. I think i think the most important thing is to find the way to be joyful, and once you're joyful, uh, you'll get, like, it becomes a play for you. Whatever you're doing becomes a child's play.
Fair point. I think you're right, and just be happy, and that way, you're happy. You're going to attract other great people. If you're miserable, well, no one's going to want to work with you or refer to you or hire you. So, being happy, joyous, adding a positive energy to people's lives. I think you're right. I think it is a very, very good way to be successful. Joyous, happy, whatever you call it, however you feel it. Yeah, it's be happy, and spread that to other people's lives, and then people want to hang out with you, and they want to refer to you, or they want to hire you or work with you or whatever. So I think that's a really good tip. Tell us how people can find you. I have your email, your website, and your phone number up here, but what's the best way for people to find you?
I think I'm available on all the three, but LinkedIn, I think I'm active there. You can have like more than 4,000 connections, and you can definitely reach out to me. I'm a bit inactive on LinkedIn of late. Because I'm dealing with some personal things. I'm all the way in India now, so yeah. But I'm actually checking my LinkedIn on regular basis. You can reach out to me. Definitely, and moreover, I think I'll share some more tools, James. One is the questionnaire to identify your top needs, your 6 human needs questionnaire. I'll send that, and I'll also send the meditation tool. Like it's there is an app, the Sadhguru app, that you can download, wherein you have the success meditation for success, right?
Wow,
But I
wow.
will also definitely send that link, and I think that is the best tool I can definitely recommend, because this is what I've been using with CEOs, and they really love it, because it just helps you achieve what you want in life. And this is just like magic wand for sure. So that is the second one I'll definitely recommend you to do. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, thank you. Thank you for being on my show today. Thanks for being here and giving some value. I love contributing, giving value. I appreciate you being on here and sharing and giving people some value. So have yourself a great day, and everyone as well, have your best day ever.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, Jay.